Nicky, who wanted his new mittens made from wool as white as snow. At first, his grandmother Baba did not want to knit white mittens. If you drop them in the snow, you'll never find them. But Nicky wanted snow white mittens, and finally Baba made them. After she finished, she said, "When you come home, first I will look to see if you are safe and sound. And then I will look to see if you still have your snow white mittens." So Nicky went off, and it wasn't long, until one of his new mittens dropped in the snow and was left behind. A mole, tired from tunneling along, discovered the mitten. Salana, can you get this one? Like your mole, look for that mitten. Discovered the mitten and burrowed inside. Salana, can you scoot over here? There you go. Chloe, where's your audience? Turn towards your audience, right? It was cozy and warm and just the right size, so she decided to stay. A snowshoe rabbit came hopping by. She stopped for a moment to admire her winter coat. And that was when she saw the mitten and wiggled in, feet first. The mole didn't think there was room for both of them. But when she saw the rabbit's big kickers, she moved over. Next, a hedgehog came snuffling along. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, he decided to move into the mitten and warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled. But not being ones to argue with someone covered with prickles, they made room. As soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, a big owl, attracted by the commotion, swooped down. When she decided to move in also, the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled. Grumble. I don't hear grumbling. Where's your grumbling? But when they saw the owl's glinty talons, there you go, they quickly let her in. Up through the snow appeared a badger. Angel. He eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left, but when they saw his big diggers, show your hands. You need to really see them. They need to see them. Angel, nobody can see you. Where are your diggers? Up high. Okay, there you go. But when they saw his diggers, they gave him the thumb. It started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A waft of warm steam rose in the air, and a fox trotting by and jump. Run, jump, run, run. There you go, run. There you go. Into the mitten. Trotting by stopped to investigate. Just as sight of that cozy mitten made him feel drowsy. There you go. The fox poked his muzzle in. When the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave the fox lots of room. A great big bear came lumbering by. He spied the mutton all plumped up. Not being one to be left out in the cold, he began to nose his way in. The animals were packed in as tightly as could be. But what animal would argue with a bear? The mittens swelled and stretched. Push your arms out. Look bigger. It was pulled and bulged to many times its size, but Baba's good knitting held fast. Along came a meadow mouse, no bigger than an acorn. I think it's a rim. There you go. He wiggled into the one space left and made himself comfortable on top of the great bear's nose. The bear, tickled by the mouse's whiskers, and gave an enormous sneeze. The force of the sneeze shot the mitten up into the sky and scattered the animals in all directions. Angel, Angel, that needs to be on the ground. Thank you. On his way home, Nicky saw a white shape in the distance. It was the lost mitten silhouetted against the blue sky. As he ran to catch his snow-white mitten, he saw Baba's face in the window. First, she looked to see if he was safe and sound. And then she saw that he still had his new white mittens. Baba, open both up and look puzzled.